In today's topic, what we are going to be covering is some information on the handwritten note. So if you're building the database in this third part of the 4-part series, one of the things that you have to do once you've established your database, you've taken your contacts from your phone, you've gone ahead and done the extra work to take them also from Facebook or any other social media that you may have that people you can connect with. You've transferred them into a CRM, and now we're going to get into it of how you're going to communicate with them and what one of those pieces looks like. So let's get into this. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jason Wilson, and this is the War Room built for real estate agents. This is giving you some of the tactical work that needs to be done from a strategic perspective on how to build a real estate business. All right, so today we're getting into the handwritten note. As we said earlier in the video, you've done the front work. You've got the database. It's in a CRM. You've now watched video 2, which was the Am I the Chosen One? And you know what to say when you call them. You've even done some of the third step, maybe the second phone call in that, which is to get updated information, birth dates, anniversaries, kids' birthdays, spouses' birthdays, those type of pieces of information, including you must have a mailing address and their valid email addresses so that you can drip on them and make that connection work. Once you get beyond that, you're going to be doing the handwritten note. So, step 1, I call a person, I have that conversation. Then step 2, they say, yes, you're the one I'm going to refer to. So now I'm getting coffee with this individual because I want to deepen the relationship. I go and meet with them. And then on the backside of that, I'm going to be following up with a handwritten note. Now, this comes directly out of a book. This is a great book. I suggest you go and read it. It's The 7 Levels of Communication. It was written by Michael J. Mayer. He was my coach at one point. He did coach me for a year. And a lot of what we've built in our real estate success has been based on this. So if you want, you can go read the book and you don't need to watch any of my videos. That'll give you the majority of what you need to be able to look at this. So I'm going to show you a screenshot right now. So these are the 7 levels of communication, and we teach a lot from this. So the foundation, or what they're showing on the bottom of the pyramid down here, is going to be the purple that you see is going to be the advertising, then the direct mail, then the email, which is the electronic communication. You're starting to get up into the top 4 is where you're getting into the impact zone. And that's going to be handwritten notes, which are only reinforcing phone calls, events and seminars, and one-on-one meetings. Okay, so the one-on-one meeting is you did the call. Now you're getting a one-on-one with coffee with them, and you're going to follow that back up with a handwritten note. Okay, so that's where that's going to cycle back through. Now let's talk about the components of a handwritten note. Number 1, if you can, try to use unbranded cards. That's a key piece because you don't want it to be a business thing as much as you want it to be a personal thing. So thank you would on the card would probably be acceptable, but you don't necessarily want to brand Ursula and Associates, KW, Remax, wherever your brokerage you're at. And a lot of the brokerages will teach you to shove cards in there, but all that feels like is when you get the card and you open it up and the cards fall on the ground. Now they're making you bend over and pick stuff up, and you're like, they should definitely send me a referral for making them do an ab workout. The reality is if you've already met with them, they have your phone number, they know how to refer you. The card may be useful if what was asked or it was given at that point when you were with them, saying, hey, here's a stack of my cards. But I would say this handwritten note should be about them, not about you. Therefore, it shouldn't have that in it. So step 1 is the unbranded card. Step 2, you're going to want to use blue ink. For whatever reason, psychologically, blue ink feels like it was authentic versus black ink, which can feel like it's printed, even though my handwriting's horrible and it clearly was not done by a machine. You still want to use blue ink. So that's step 2. Step 3, you want to write rightly. Now, what I mean by that is if you look at any chart, let's talk about it from a profit standpoint. If the chart were like this and it went down like this, and I said, this is your money, how do you feel about this? Feels like you're losing everything, right? But if it were the other way and it was down here and it came and it went like this, that gives you that psychological feeling of increase and the authenticity of it being slightly sideways on the card. Now, granted, in this mirrored image, it's not looking like I'm headed on an upward trajectory, but that's really what we're looking for. This is the high end. This is where you're going to start. Okay, so those are going to be the key components on there, the first, second, and third one. Unbranded card, blue ink, write rightly. Now let's talk about what you put in there. You're going to avoid I, me, my, anything that's about you, with one exception. Everything should be about them. Now, and you can cheat. Now, if you're a grammatical snob, you're going to hate this part, but you can skip things like I had a great time seeing you, and just go and be able to say, it was great to see you, and it's about them, right? Everything needs to be about them. What you're going to want to do in that card is to say thank you, express appreciation, and that's the one exception where you can say, you can use the letter I, and it would start with this sentence, and every card should have it. I appreciate, and then something that you actually appreciate, something genuine about them. And that could be something that you aspire to have that you don't. So for example, I appreciate your punctuality. If I struggle with being punctual, hopefully I was punctual to that meeting, but if I struggled with it and they're really good at it, that's something I can appreciate because, you know, as I appreciate it, it appreciates in my life. You could say, I appreciate your time, trust, and confidence. Thank you so much for your time. What you don't want to do is say, I appreciate your time, trust, and confidence, and thank you so much for being willing to refer to me. I really love the fact that you want to be a partner, and me, I. That's what happens. You want to stay away from that. So it should just be, it was great seeing you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your trust and confidence. And then you can, you know, finish out how your exit. You know, let's get together again soon. P.S., which is going to be the next thing in here after you've done the avoiding I, we, me, and my. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is going to be I appreciate, and then something you genuinely appreciate about them. And then the last part is going to be a P.S. with a call to action. P.S. give me a call. Now, depending on when you do this card, if you just did it after a meeting with them, you're going to want to make a suggestion for next time. If you did it after your initial phone call to reconnect with them and want to send them the thank you card because you got their address, then you might put in there, hey, I have an idea, call me. When they call you, suggest to go out and meet with coffee, and you can do it in reverse, right? So there's lots of ways to be able to do this, but write the thank you cards and make it about them. Make sure it's legible and that you can read it, and then hand address the envelopes. So those are the steps to a handwritten note, how it was suggested to be done, and it was mentioned inside the 7 Levels of Communication, which I believe is quoting another book that talked about how to write those handwritten notes. This is crucial for you having the outcome you're looking for. All right, so as you get to this, the next step in this is going to be the memory jogger. So the next video in the series of building the database is the memory jogger. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up, give a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We will be putting out more content soon. Thanks so much. I'm Jason Wilson, and this is The War Room.